4.7 Asempa FM. Ekosiisen dwumadi no asoguso a otie no. Make us say American dia to mani na bedwafo ni nyina atnase ewa ha dada. In fact, for Honorable Daniel Nikwate Titus Glover, Monte Nanudi Ensem. Inti mema na kwaba ni etie ono nso. And let me also remind you, say, the NDCA issue a rejoinder and I say dragging Supreme Court in the mud, threat to democracy, a rejoinder. It's signed by the General Secretary of the Party, Honorable Johnson Asiedun Ketia, and statement no echimo a retired Justice of the Court of Appeal, Akasa, in response to what former President John Dramani Mahama is reported to have said about Ghana's judiciary. And the party, I rejoined away in response to Nsema, retired Justice of the Court of Appeal. Akan Nsembebe now will be going through it in due course. Now, ansana no mamemfa we ntwem quickly. Na mema Honorable Daniel Nikwate Titus Glover Akwaba, UNIAT Practical Institute, and debia ye hammer the fact that vocational and technical skills is the way to go. In the TVET, ababe really critical in Bibia during our development as a country. UNIAT Practical Institute, Abba Felisa gap no at the MIA. A technological school, more focus mainly on the practical approach to learning. In Okowa, courses are who will be brave. It be a short courses and it be a main courses. Main courses no duration here 1 year. Into courses being no more year. Main courses they be a computer basics and office administration. Your network and cyber security engineering. Your online business and e-commerce. Your graphic design, video editing, 3D animation and what have you. Your software engineering and a computer hardware and a mobile phone technicians training in Sokoso as part of the main courses. Your short courses, now 3 month minimum. That's for the short courses. It be in Python programming, Java development, style graphics, CCTV installation and management, your web development, cybersecurity, Android development, and a database management. In a UNIAT Practical Institute. A CODVET registered training school, 85% practical training. Your certified certificate of competency. We have well-equipped and air-conditioned classrooms and laboratories, well-qualified and motivated lecturers, accredited IT diploma. In the end, you may be brina ewo. Your number ni, assign your WhatsApp line 0547 966 966 0547 966 966. Your website upischool.com. Your Delta House, our asylum down roundabout Accra here. And your another branch was Kaswa Brigade bus stop after the toll booth. Ube huye yo condition and so. MIA. More and more durable American home care product ato. A born wo form a sanye papa. Mekamfu Ofosus House Depot. Amamo. Ofosus House Depot. Now okohwa your plumbing materials, kitchenware, lighting, building materials. Then you be ewo. Ebi I will open bridal gowns at open shoes, open ropes, bouquet and other bridal accessories. Ubenya biato yes, I do bridals. And also the same building as Ofosus House Depot, the same place no munyi nawo. Yo oyarefa Ebri Highway no eso high tension ho sawmill eho and Ofosus House Depot. Ewo frɛ 0591 471 621 0591 471 621 Ofosus House Depot. Your one stop for all your American home care product or more buanko for papa men Canada. Tilers, homeowners, project managers, any Matthiasem de auto tiles. Now person client any jihu say tiles there what we want me pacho uhia tile and marble adhesives papa nen so there JB Forge Profix product and a tongue. Your sign will grout, your waterproof chemical and anti-salt neutralizers. Nina a highly polymer-based product. I should here for for Africa's climate. Enti pebito na industry na jia to mankasa. JB Forge product no eseweni and so catcher. Eba highly recommended for tilers, house owners, project managers, building contractors. Me pacho maunsa enkebi. Ghana Standards Authority agiatum se eye. into marble adhesives, no tile adhesives, no grout, waterproof chemicals and anti-salt neutralizer. JB Forge, Ewatema Community 9. Your number is 0554 545454. Now, and just some say our retail outlet, Ebi or Cantamanto, Tema, East Legon, Wager, Oyarefa, Takrade, Kumase, Sogakope, Agbozome, Denu, Ewa Flow, Okwa, Ubenya retail outlet to her any and your many be etime ato. O Accra, O Tema, free delivery at the amount. Profits, Idi catch, rough. Honorable Aquaba, baby, Aboko there.
Ozabozo, Philip. To your thing. My wife say me.
Oh, yeah, Jogba.
My wife say me by me, Chelma.
Oh, sir.
Philip, how?
I was that commission. I
always tell you, me leaving me, man. I feel too much. I see catching is a Michiano.
Oh.
Catching is a Michiano, pa.
Mrs. Titus Glover.
Na, Osisen, I will see dear Jumano. I mean, you're always in the middle.
Yeah.
Who be some questions are. I mean, what's in the chair? Once there's no biasness, you are straight to the point, making sure say you satisfy everybody.
Yes.
You just say, and I think say, a better be a me bashu you swa, me bomba, me Bobby Mount.
Amen.
Nama Bobby Ediama production team.
Amen.
And multimedia,
Amen.
including me Numa Minimo Basho no sono. Because a Konya Namudi Mayeno, I adum dibia. Sebi, ye nime jumano, and I sebi ye kasana ye kano. And in Chile, ye nimadian see ubia. I drink chile and a mudi maye. And the Kunyana Mudima is a Yensu Yembrani and Bechere Yajuno. A Yagana Kanko, a Ghana Kruye, Quanya Befaswa, ye bema or mine Ghana. Sebia, a yeji, and Yamaye. And when it comes to Tuesdays, Fidijuada Echo Pimni Fiada, there is no other talk show politically that is so listened across the globe than Ekosiisen. And the Yabakosa Bomabaso, say Juma Muyadi Sumuno, Yeniaji, Yami Yababa, Bicha Lawyer Chum, Tema Boy, BBC, or Tema Boy, yeah, he's a Tema Boy. He's a nice gentleman, Michelle and Shia, but this week, last week in this year, Michelle, and Tiamia, Ayebusia, Midanasi. Na Michiaka Kranazana, Yabakomuno, Minfa Wim and Fem. And the pay na make. Thank you very much for the shout out. And Sunday was my birthday.
Belated happy birthday.
Yes, or mama message in your wishes in your middle say. Na addition be a ba. I was here ma all the petrol filling station in no fuel filling station. As did the film. I'm the next front page, any page 3 of the Ghanaian Chronicle. And send me a pure F Shell filling station be at Timpoku, as your mind. I'm the client because of the vehicle fuel. No one says so womb a war petronum. And quickly he lodged a complaint with the NPA. And I mean Bominia Honorable Mustafa Hamid Abbaswo. The quick response are MPA4 from the Eastern region, a bus station to make sure they address the concern of customers.
Because me can post be my Justice Abdullah, you know, the parliament issues they call court. Because me kind post be an all I think say Range Rover say car bisa one of these filling stations or auto in Zion. I'm on a Range Rover and the problems are there.
And for me, tough words are mushroom filling stations now. I don't buy it. Goyle is always my filling station. So actually, it's total any shell. But my number one station is Goyle. And one of me told me fuel. But the American because this platform is very powerful. And you have customer now already salam. MPA4 so a two sana mono and I'm told the filling station is being investigated. Now Oto in so so quickly he lodged a complaint and the Eastern Region office of the MPA quickly moved in. Yabeji samples look in so and the Vivo Energy.
Yes.
Manage
franchise no.
So they came to own up say I'm saying so be toy. Na so na toy no. A manico fra winyano. Adisiana me pese yesuana na say MPA, Mamon Trema will be Emboboya Mania. Any time there's a heavy downpour, move your team round. Baby, snap stops. Ni check it. Ni say. Amanso na toy because some of the tanks are old underground. A number of years it was AD.
Yeah.
Near tuning in they put a new one there because the fact say a chef from no air rusty.
It's true.
It's true. Tokro beba hu. Inzo no tonevu. Esunia ni nyina ebushim.
So there's a slight amount of water.
And the member MP for Abazo and the gentleman. But Vivo for say they should compensate the customer no. They are the car no no problem no. And few people who can prove some part almost then they can look at it. And the but we need to educate the public.
Yeah.
Especially be more low lying area and so toa and ma tanks you know how it goes. Young cover so. Was normally ones that were from just bare floor say. Yam peja ne mukakra. Yam pe wall me yen kataso. Amanso no etoa and to me enko from one na enko say adie. And the idea na me pese me ne wo listeners any one mo hwe nyina no asua bibi di film. And my MP for so ma ani enko from be so better feeling say yenko immediately. And let's test the fuel na wo form no.
Where your MP statement and Shell, okay. Shell. In the Vivo 4, almost a station, Adome Bridge at Impoku Shell filling station. On 28th August 2022, after a heavy downpour in the Atimpoku area, it was discovered that water had seeped into one of the underground storage tanks at Adome Bridge at Impoku Shell filling station. As soon as the team discovered water contamination, sales at the station were stopped. Good. But assistance is being provided to impacted customers. Internal investigation is ongoing and all necessary remedial steps will be taken before the station reopens. We remain committed to providing best quality fuels to our customers. And the number driver be open further clarifications there is a number you can call. Or that's the communications manager Shelley 0540 116600. Because at Timpoku Shell, I think I've bought fuel there before, but that's a long time.
When we after customer no
absolutely.
I'm a MP for number
okay.
So in them to relate that we so saying quality of service delivery. And I'm happy somebody we about to own up some back. Then so that will help them. Not problem na bano na yenya ni yifu na my driver for be emfa bro nyanko wi crackers omva weso na on take undue advantage
say onunso ko to
bi who zam ko to bi na me you know what I mean, you know guys are
onu mo na mo ni engine gra
na odi akoye they to su mienu so there's a gentleman na me so over the weekend na me share social media. You see, social media, we need to use the platform productively. You use social media for a good cause. But you use social media, na yedi good man for umfi, yedi sad ya. And what? Mamincha His Excellency, Nana do Danko Kufado, and His Excellency President Kufo, Papa Michao, Ewoponoso. Na
Obra Penwancha.
Oh, Jadi Michao. Big bro Michao. Na Adibi Hami. Na menimsa wo videos ye beka kire. Anapa makasa ewo UTV. Afrifa. This broadcaster at XYZ. Me hunu se ogwa paye e bompaye cursing the president and the finance minister with his libation, with snap on his studio broadcasting live on social media. I say, oh, is that how your media is that how we should bring it to you can have issues with the president, you can have issues with his style of governance, but to the extent say wouldn't Sambeko with studio live, you have management of XYZ let me call in the days of the opposition. A former NDC financier may so rest in peace. Former Sedako.
Yeah.
David
Lamte, yes.
Me debating mate, Dr. Apak.
Clement
Apak regularly. But if the management of XYZ can sit down and watch that this gentleman can use that platform with a schnapp in his hand, point libation and cursing the president and the finance minister. What are we doing? More so, I'm a chief. I'm a Sunkahini of a Kwapin traditional area. I'm a chief in Sankana, in Upper West. I'm also a chief in the Daguma community in Tema. Why is he doing that? If you have issue with the president of his style of governance, do you go to your program and use snap to curse him? So I'm challenging the Ghana Journalists Association. I'm challenging the Media Foundation for West Africa, my brother Brima. I'm challenging the management of XYZ. If they are behind it, then they should stop it. Because, why am I saying, say Muti Hono this snap, a bompaye edikasi the president now, then you are behind it. Then they are behind it. Then the Kumase, the Shanti Region House of Cheese, Mesha, because he's a chief in Agona. Or Dikini Ewagona. Adain. Why is he doing that? Namundi politics na inushi. I'm so hurt. I'm so mad. And the way journalists for no movie sena musi dimu jumano. Now where's the president Akufo-Addo bano be yina noa? Ebeka say he's not tolerant. Who will sit down as a president? So tini baby on kan wonya wo hwe. Who criticize no on kan hwe. Afa who dia paye gudu friends busumfo e di kese no. Enfani ye wewo. Where is this done in this country? Where? Where is coming from in Agona, in Ashanti? Is that what they do? They don't do that. And the why you know Ghana Journalists Association, Media Foundation for West Africa, Brima, the management of XYZ, I want them to respond and call that gentleman to order. Because you know, enfata journalism professional, why? Professor Akufo-Addo won busu mombe. Ni shoe po bet ma pepa. Why no it is wrong. I will not sit here to run down your mama, the former president. I will not. I can criticize him, but I will not do things. Yeah, debater. As for critics, we can criticize. But to the extent that media pandemic, Adeng, we your policy with your platform. Sani was here, and yet kasa, kasapa. And I want Menshia to call that gentleman to what? Send a fraud decay. Your fraud decay, I said, yes, your kasa here or yerpa, and you know that the Menshia must call that gentleman because he's a chief in Agona, Confanoche, a town, Agona. Why? Police didn't obia sorry, no kasa di ope. Openibia ni dinner time, you train boso. Why? Why are we subjecting the politics of this country like that?
Very well.
Say ontia obintie non kanchire no. Because he has followers. A moves who is as a role model. If this is a style of broadcasting or you there and
Good afternoon, Obi. My greetings, Honorable Titus Glover. He is a great patriot, way free. Ganiyu Mohammed, Nadmo Boss, Western Region. Yes. Ganiyu, good evening to you. Mijidise Bibia Koye. Lawyer, my memorandum menu initial comment. And because you are a lawyer, maybe we start with that statement from your party general secretary. And I'll read maybe few paragraphs or say our attention has been drawn to media publications with the above subject attributed to Justice Isaac Dose, a retired justice of the Court of Appeal, in response to a rather harmless opinion expressed by former President John Mahama on the gradual erosion of citizens' trust in Ghana's judiciary. We wish to state in unambiguous terms that while we recognize Justice Dose's right to free expression, we have fundamental disagreement with him as we find a sentiment not only untenable but also unfounded. First and foremost, the so-called caution to His Excellency John Mahama not to drag the image of the Supreme Court in the mud, in our view, is completely misplaced. There is sufficient evidence, both scientific and anecdotal, available to prove that citizens' trust in the judiciary, which also includes the Supreme Court, is on a gradual decline. This phenomenon cannot be blamed on anyone else but the judiciary itself. We wish to refer to Justice Dose We wish to refer Justice Dose to the findings of the recently published Afrobarometer report by the Ghana Center for Democratic Development, which revealed that citizens' trust in the judiciary has declined by 21 percentage points from 57% in 2012 to 36% in 2022. The 2020 Mo Ibrahim Governance Index made similar observations. This, in our view, is what should be a source of worry to Justice Dose and people who reason like him, and not the caution from former President Mahama, who is merely re-echoing the general sentiment of Ghanaians about the judiciary. The outburst of the learned justice makes us wonder if he was in Ghana during the 2020 presidential election petition, where the Supreme Court became a subject of mockery as unanimous SC due to its predictability with respect to its decisions. Is Justice Dose observing how the president continues to pack our court with partisan judges? As an experienced jurist, does he fully appreciate the implications of such act on justice delivery and, for that matter, the image of the judiciary and its independence? If so, has he made any comment about it? It is not for nothing that Lord Hewitt, the then Lord Chief Justice of England, in his dictum in the case of Rex versus Sussex Justices, said that, quote, justice must not only be done, but must also be seen to be done, unquote. This statement draws our attention to the fact that public perception about justice delivery matters a lot in justice delivery. The importance of the judiciary in Ghana's democracy, blah, blah, blah. Over last paragraph now say, we wish to place on record that, like all other citizens, His Excellency John Mahama has every right to comment on national issues, including critiquing the decisions of the court and the eroding trust in our judiciary. Our 1992 Constitution states in Article 1251 that, quote, justice emanates from the people and shall be administered in the name of the Republic by the judiciary, which shall be independent and subject to this Constitution. In the performance of its functions, the judiciary is not above criticism, unquote. In fact, criticism of state institutions is part and parcel of our democratic practice. We criticize the executive and parliament, so why do people think that the judiciary is above criticism? It is trite practice that judgment of court of competent jurisdiction are subject to critique. Therefore, citizens reserve the right to do this. It is part of measures to ensure judicial accountability, as all institutions, including the judiciary, are subject to the Constitution. If the judiciary is uncomfortable with that, then it has to take steps to reform and change the growing negative public perceptions about it. We wish to state that the judiciary should take the advice of His Excellency John Mahama seriously and reflect on it each time it is called upon to do its work. The evidence from two different reputable think tanks, which show the gradual decline in citizens' trust in the judiciary, must be of major concern to the Chief Justice. If steps are not taken to address these issues, citizens will not stop expressing their opinions about it. Signed, Honorable Johnson Nasiedun Ketia, General Secretary. Lawyer, what's your statement if you General Secretary or Abba? Do you subscribe to the content therein?
Of course. Let me first say, sir, just before that, and Chiankoma Miniopani, and I'm saying, running the immune, from Adum TV, Adum FM, UTV, and Ambition. And she hasn't come His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Professor John Pukwadjumai and the party hierarchy, the national chairman Samuel Fusampofo, the only general in politics. Johnson has said in Katia. And in Pennyfo, I depend on 80. And the America say, but I say, yes, sir, you know, but just by the privilege I near the better. Obi, Swati baby and Pennyfo Busa and Peninsa, so be a bow como. Then you said, o proud name o yeden
Say
obi papa mpamu a na say wo hye komo de ne mo nyese wo proud. What I want to say is criticisms ayade bia so what you say here you don't take it offensive if someone is criticizing you. Obi criticize one of the some of the importance of criticism, and it's I say it helps to give us a new perspective and opens our eyes to things that we may have overlooked or never considered. Tibi another coordinate course, but what drinking course? I didn't see, but when ni mouse sabi, and beniforce back for and sans yankupo and kata. A dom answer the cutting yankupo. So one person sitting somewhere, the CJ alone can't fix the entire challenges in the judiciary. Certain things will be brought to his attention by officers of the court and other supporting staffs. No, what you to one because on what just one office they be out with them way. So what he has to be busy or even on one anymore. He may not even notice it. But we need people to draw attention to things that a be an ordinary course. Na mo adwenya baso. Na mo papa be so to the fix and what they are fix. The same thing applies to even the government. O man pani what he say be in the office where he nche mo be no. Yet them where the course was yanka over that. So that's it. So certain things be AC maybe I mean we should be our friend communities be and we are there and maybe I mean more concerns from certain communities. Why are you doing that? Don't you think it's because you want to bring it to attention to the leaders? So they need to go and fix it.
Yes.
That is why we are doing that. And then, you know, if someone comes out to say a number of community or first one who say Ekoswa, my nyina no nsi bone na mo yan hwasem ne papa e wachiri ye tu honam obi hwe I'm a lawyer in some jurisdictions. I practice law there. I own law firms. Obi judiciary institution bia from lawyer no kwato nchen o man biara wasase so the institution bia no se beto institution bia sia judiciary nka ho. My reason is very simple. One more penny baby, the parliament can fail us at some point. The executive can fail us. But one of the failing, and I say, yes, because I know to them was I'm sorry for you, I'm a tea boss over to choose a boa. When that's was. So be a bow rested you have treat to. Now when to me and you were near Chinua, not the judiciary being why between the anymore. When that's why then, Asa or Bassam baby. So it is the only institution that I believe for whether from a professional question. Let me speak as an ordinary Ghanaian or citizen. So an open institution, I mean, no, that's one I wish you say. A 2 dear dinner for a bit tiafa, a home, and you swan, you know, Shananuya, that's Zabula Bundi. A 2 dear dinner, a constitution, and I almost have to go 102 a Casafa quorum. Yeah. Imagine notes a quorum. And you can by the ordinary meaning, you know, wouldn't say I hope in a casa for quorum. Did you ever catch you 104 so a quorum? So that's it. It never occurred to you. Now, so and nam said judiciary new hunty and na yakunyan chirimu much as a I know the man can ye. Now can Hanu could dream because you'll be seeing a trout say ABC the social. Maybe out your own share. Inti had any drama deal win a wish drama deal and no much mun amen nay about a president I bet that what train in Chiliman from the day queen. So the judiciary is an institution that we don't joke with. No political party in this country can ever say he or that party will ever underrate or underscore the judiciary. Niye yomtine nyina yeden yawa and ni se ebesi yamai or mining ti. And I'm going to buy a 2 year din. I know
the Supreme Court.
I didn't know it was young Parliament. So that's it. I don't know young coach about me watching young Uncle Cano. So was it there some more? I had any young man, young. So was it there some more?
Yes.
But we went to the court because only the be a young you swim, you did you see at the trauma you need to ever. Okay? For any society to have a stability, you need the judiciary. An efficient judiciary is necessary to ensure stability of every nation. Efficient one for that matter. Okay? Protection of people's rights. Constitution lists several rights in them. Even though as a lawyer I know that they are not absolute. At some point, your rights can be taken away.
Yes.
But you see a person pay woman. So before you say me benefits and right visual, the only point he can go to ensure say we deserve compensation be and I say relief be when say make me account. And you mean no can say why you say to saying I will not give him. But so could do court as a court to case and my dear when we are into coercion Obi can you disobey? No. Okay? Yenum say for a country to have a stable economy. Never man microphone because you did dear woman. I do music about economy no mu. And then yet you be enuma. Afem crofo any ade no. Ni nyinara no se bitafa jame am ni apani kwasitum. Me name no. So the year wetin bi adwuma yi emra da adwuma no ho. What year you are an employee? If you violate your rights as an employee, the only point that you have to go is the court. So the point I'm trying to indicate here is that the judiciary is an institution. Nobody, not even President John Dramani Mahama, and not doing by your form. And you know, so that impression, I say I'm trying to get a word.
Watching judiciary,
like exactly as he's trying to ridicule them or whatever. I mean, that is not the case.
But is that what the content of the speech not sought to do?
Obi, when you realize that CDD for say percentage score of GD amount for Ghanaians and you won't quantify.
Yes.
I will judiciary mad dropping. Where am I so?
Obi I am no.
Good, because that should never be the case. It's not me certificate baby no. We anger am certificate by no. Extra will say looking at all these things net that homa woman nti. I was say woman ye institutional. See a fall, we can have no hope in the presidency or in the executive. We can say not to have any hope in our parliament. But not the judiciary. But not the judiciary. And it is say if an institution such as CDD conduct a survey in the country, now survey in the say comparing 2012 to 2022, about 10 years down the line, nothing fear do chino GDM go forward judiciary I drop it to a figure years and figure and go fail less than 40%. It is dangerous. It doesn't send good signal. Take it or leave it. Because listen, so be one or investor or person baby anymore Ghana. They do a lot of research before they come down. Those of us who practice law abroad, no, they come to you, they ask questions, they go back, they do their own research and their own investigations through their various websites. And all these things are part of the things that they pick. Because I want not know, their system in such a way that it is no respect of person. So strict that won't mean end. I mean, you cannot maneuver. Obedu had to say. Officers or kinds of report here, CDD the buy here. You didn't be anything. Obi, you didn't be anything. And you know wow. When was America for? Yeah? United States of America, when institution be a friend, say the U.S. State Department of States. In 2021, one of the reports we buy a year, April year, 27th April 2022 year. About the sum will be on your judiciary. There's a heading published by this web powers.com.
Okay.
GH. I say Ghana's judiciary was subject to unlawful influence and corruption. Report. And the report is by no other institution but this institution was the 2021 Ghana Human Rights Report has indicated that the judiciary in Ghana was subject to unlawful influence and corruption. Now, according to the U.S. Department of State's 2022 Annual Country Report on Human Rights Practices, released on 12 April 2022, it said while constitution and law provides for an independent judiciary, the judiciary was subject to unlawful influence and corruption. Isn't this dangerous? For an American institution, for that matter. Ebenya Sadrim publishing their two websites. I publish about Ghana. So in simple terms, every American investor coming here who can read about them one, he knows. Or man may come say that here. These things are not good. And they need to be fixed. I will not be bothered if our executive doesn't have an image. I will not be bothered if our parliament doesn't have a strong image. But I will be bothered if the judiciary's image has a question mark.
But lawyer, because you are an officer of the court, no, we also know perceptions build over time.
Yeah.
We were in this country, and nobody can downplay the fact that Anas Harimiya or Anas expose. No?
Thank you. 2014
2014, 2015.
Yeah.
And we know, it did a lot to the image of Ghana's judiciary. In the ABO, former perception about the judiciary, based on sad documentary.
No, but where 2020?
No, never.
Okay.
And I make us a perception built over time.
All right.
You understand? So, Osha, the content of what the former president said. And for example, Onoka said, Adia Bakwa ama judiciary ni image deteriorate or can I say? And this is the pulse.com. Akufo-Addo's appointment of openly partisan judges is very dangerous. Or see, he said President Nana Akufo-Addo in his recent nomination of judges to the Superior Court has included judges who are openly partisan. He claimed that the president's actions were contributing to the public's growing opinion of the judiciary as having a broken image. Former President Mahama said, quote, "So badly has the image of our judiciary deteriorated that many of our citizenry openly make a mockery of our justice system and our justices," adding that the president was making matters worse. Quote, "The unfortunate situation with our judiciary is exacerbated by a president who is packing the court and appointing openly partisan judges to both the superior and lower court. To make matters worse, the president and his legal team believe in weaponizing state prosecutions against political opponents. Not only has this government targeted former appointees who are being prosecuted on frivolous charges, but they are also prosecuting other persons and targeting business people perceived to belong to opposing parties." Lawyer, this cannot be mere criticism. These are serious issues to be coming from a former president.
If you are criticizing, you need to cite. You cannot just criticize.
In a vacuum.
Yes, you need to cite something. Then I'll criticize.
But to say that the president is appointing partisan judges, you're a lawyer. Who in process?
I know
the appointment of judges.
I know. Very recently, I think there's an appointment list pending vetting and approval.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Parliament now. And I saw it personally on social media,
yes,
on Facebook,
yes,
that one of them happens to have contested for MPP. I think one of the voter, so T region was a voter. Constituency. I can't cite it vividly.
Yes. Yes.
But my question is, let me quote Lord Hope, a former judge of the Supreme Court of UK, was justices are antithesis of politics.
Of politics.
As in say, so judges.
Yes.
At a more for okay, yes.
Yes.
At a more for any I'm on your someone as I'm on your phone. They don't do the same thing. They are pa.
Are you saying, sir, in Obi previous life, so now a politician, when you're going to law school about be a lawyer or practice it for 10 years, 15 years?
Yeah, when he was contesting, he was still a lawyer.
When who was contesting?
When...
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. It can say all contest people now or a lawyer. It be fresh at the bar. 15 years later, or qualified to be on the Court of Appeal. That's when your Court of Appeal appointment. The process it goes through.
I think it's even up to the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court?
Yes.
You get it? Okay, in the 15 years, Supreme Court. No, when your Supreme Court appointment, you are saying that is wrong? Abroad, that strict process, Judicial Council, money at the other day, go through and send a final list number out for the president to approve. No, wrong.
You see, the issue is that in the background, no, you know my background.
Yes.
Can it ever change?
It cannot.
Thank you.
But you cannot become a judge? Is that what you're saying?
You see, listen, Obi. Wouldn't say the grumwa, ye be esitie. And said the issue name be. Obi, Matia, minus 7 year penny when
FM.
honestly, means me
94.7.
Come hot me. I didn't be before ye, and over ye. I didn't have Miss Wendy's before ye, and I must may ye. Mebana.
Yes.
That is the point. But wouldn't the kind of perceptions and how we say things to the extent it could be so become to me to be fee and now so we a party way near if you request men new me fee. So that's it. This is the kind of living that sometimes you have in our country.
Okay.
And it is a war for will be our not area known in the political caliber. Appointing somebody to the Supreme Court or to any side of the bench, no, it's never a problem. Constitution man penny coin, vacancy betum kwan as a recommendation ba appointed. But the air can say, Yan why ye when nimna ye and maybe one and free and what an obi. And free and what an obi. Obi. Just is from Madam Georgina Wood, no more pens why they ba bepumni. Or more I know is a non-political activist. You all that one more can now become Biafan by speculation. Oh, Mrs. Obi MPP ni, Mrs. Obi NDC ni. I mere assumption. Because who will be out and the post of Vital Babia your population is there or the contest for any election biada. Mebuana. So to be anything answer. But why people start pulling out this things? That answer the one. Mema Jane say, O man penina Obodino should have considered it. Never now one appointment in there. I mean, we'll be waiting for Zapacodo. So obviously, when this one go on, send hallelujah. So just here. But you are the one that we have problems with.
The Judicial Council or the President?
The President. He's the one who, Judicial Council, they are or my recommendation. One now, the recommendation in the but one also does a car in the say, almost a mark and dear. Now, so anyway, the Minister of Estimate did my hair because of ABCD. Who want money now, Obi? But you never thought. So when they do some appointment, you know, he should have considered it twice. He should have considered it twice. And not just go because Obi have told you to go and do ABC. So whether it is good or bad, whether it's going to help or not, you know, the other issue is that you made mention of President Mahama say Ghanaians were making mockery of the judiciary. Yeah. I mean, who be? Have you not seen some on social media? Who will be someone for making mockery of the judiciary? It's on the writing. I wonder how many know. Maybe my point.
But some could be out of sheer ignorance.
We know how this thing travels, right? And when first maybe I know say what could not could do. So where wrong things are being sold out. So whether it is of sheer ignorance, whether it is from a knowledgeable point of view, maybe I could do. Can you now no if we sabe be pum say the wow site anas the be pum and the mom be near to put that confidence in back into the ordinary Ghanaian and say the send the see but if the ko de ka kire bon ban ne mo fina if we sabe di kuri ABCD ne ya ma image na a top from the anas video no ya sign putting back e de gina na so mo bi bia nya rehemu ene anwotoso e was adwuma ne mo. What steps are we taking? Okay, because it's very important. If the announced year was around 2014, 15, but now 2021, 2022, another institution, credible one for that matter, in America, a state institution of the Americans. Let me publishing be saying something. Are we really going on as a country?
94.7.
Former President Mahama gives a proposal how we can deal with it.
Okay,
or say, and this graphic.com.
All right.
Former President John Dramani Mahama says it will take a new Chief Justice to lead the process to repair what he said was the badly dented image of Ghana's judiciary, for people to win the trust in the system. For him, the deteriorated image of the judiciary easily sparks laughter from the citizenry when one decides to go to the court for justice. That's his proposal. On if he said the only way out is to change the current Chief Justice.
And so I say if you take a new person, it doesn't mean that you're going to change him.
How?
It doesn't mean that.
What does it mean to you?
If somebody tells you that you take a new person to do this program that you are doing, that doesn't mean that they should change you immediately.
What does it mean to you?
No, to me, it doesn't mean that you should change him. But he's telling only who say this person cannot do it. Obviously, you know that at most by the close of next year, our CJ will be no more. By age wise, he'll be 70 years. And definitely there will be once he goes on, there will be a new CJ.
Yes.
What does he say?
Yes.
So we'll be also in the star, Madam Georgina Wood, who not the star different. Madam Sophia Akufu, also by
on
the star was different.
Yeah.
Mr. Eninia so on the star is obviously different. I mean, we don't know who is going to come next, but there will be also will not follow the past 3 or 2 that I've mentioned. He may also have his own style. Because be honest, if you report seeing say CDD for the America for the be honest can be and to be a name will be honest pen it down so okay me watching but not this is what I'm also going to do to put up this image. One carry police service. Dan parebedi akonya ade ba kon this scene and so to build the image of police service back because na image no kofom. So he needed to work to build confidence in the police service. So you saw him putting up several programs. For the first time, you worked me on IGP on what from talking to the ordinary people on the street and so on and so forth. We didn't tell me police may be paying. And you so they say, but I know nobody what the difference are going to which means IGP or no traffic. I mean, you hardly see those things. Who does my years in the service? Maybe by the police about 30 years or so before he died. He died in service. My traumas in my life. My home be IGP about IGP never. I mean, the days of Kofi, Namfuri, IGP, many who from IGP Kofi to Namfuri, all the way down, basically down Paris. IGP bounce IGP never. One yes or no on IGP driving says, I mean, how? But on nobody, what they honestly style they are to build confidence. So any CJ who will come in the future will obviously come with a new style. But as part of the style, no, any of those people will be looking at and say, I believe, and I want to hope, I want to again believe further. Say, say reports here, I can't want some CDD, the America, then one Wendy, Oma can one be. So, and ask the normal tea. And I saw we saw the videos. Okay? And that's about almost only between 1 and 1 say, how can we fight the corruption in the judiciary? To ensure, say, Sadi never free one image number back, and anybody will be able to say, mean to me, you can tell me justice. Okay, America for the now. But I am out of Hukaka. Or say, judicial officers reportedly accept bribes to expedite and postpone cases. Can you imagine? So, on Koto, they've put in this on inverted commerce, on Koto, on their report. And if America for put this kind of publication on their system, Obi, are we on the right track? Don't you think we need to do something to amend these things, to prevent this thing from happening? Why would they have that kind of impression about us? Is it not bad? Is it not sad?
94.7.
Okay, and I think that it's something that we don't. Until make us say, let us not take the criticism on a negative ground. So be anticipating be no, but for the betterment of this country and the future.
Okay.
The memo china, if you now baby never see your china, if you not china now baby be a lawyer, if you not china baby officer baby be a judge. What be can say maybe be a basin crown. Yes, saying na SC, but the nadia you can't. I have been in a court in the UK. Judge in the trans, I don't question who's applicant. Do you know me? About was it no? I also don't know you, right? I said yes. Have you met before? I said no. That's good. So my transino, I say I'm going to judge the case based on the facts and evidence that I have before me. And not because of any sentiments. That was the woman's comment before the case commenced. Birmingham from the magistrate court. To be precise. Okay? So let us get to that point in B. So that the ordinary citizens, but the ordinary people you do when you woman wo obi so oni jire no all ma wo lawyer no nchen kra se fa me ko. But we need to get them to believe us. We need to get them to believe the institution. And the only way they can believe in those institutions is where these errors are being kept. These mistakes are being kept. These faults are being kept. And the right image is being placed. Na ochina America for control we have on website and to maybe as a man sign.
Amfa Ghana.
Amfa Ghana.
Lawyer Mamintie Honorable Mesan Swaba Uhobi on this same issue. Honorable Daniel Nikwate Titus Glover. But even before you start, now Yebeseti and camera no Fred Agbenyon of the NDC, and he's Deputy Director International Affairs of the NDC. Yes. Also, Obi, everybody in our society knows that it will be practically impossible in this dispensation to govern ourselves without the judiciary. And that is why we created it as a wing of our governance system by law. It is expected of the men and women who are allowed to operate in the judicial circles to live above board and conduct themselves in a way and manner that will assure the citizenry that they are serving Ghana and Ghanaians. I will admonish the CJ if he is minded to cause an independent body to conduct a research to find out what the general perception is about their work. Fred Agbenyon, and he ends with a hashtag, SAL is watching the EC and the president. Fred, good evening to you. This one says, every Ghanaian should be concerned and as much worried about Mr. Mohammed's attacks on the judiciary, knowing very well how their forebears murder Justices Kwejo Eje Japon, Poku Sarkodie, and Cecilia Crantain Ado in cold blood on June 30th, 1982. Brian Boabain Samuel. And he again sends a link to a story which says, my PNDC background will not affect my work. Justice Apo. That's Justice Yao Apo. On also message on your brain. Where's Obi? Ask the lawyer in your studio yesterday. President Mahama met all NDC lawyers and Ghanaians saw them. Does that mean none of them qualifies to be a Supreme Court justice in Ghana, even if Nanado appoints them? Gasti man in Brekum, Edie Enono. We say, Obi, Justice Gabriel Puaman was the General Secretary for the PNC, and Justice Apo was also a PNDC activist, an operative, were all appointed under the Supreme Court under the NDC. Does that make the appointment political? President Mahama should stop this holier than thou attitude, protozoa, our office of the Chief of Staff. Good evening, Obi. Was the CDD survey conducted on the judiciary based on fact or perception? Why are we turning perception into reality? Eric in Hacho. Eric himself, for most of these surveys, to get a real way will be difficult. Mostly, where's the corruption? You don't see it. It's an activity in the dark, and you have to do perceptions. Honorable, my NT on this topic.
Ozebuzo. Medase. I'm the Chuma Kasa. Menini ya adwin say the judiciary as a final arbiter in adjudication kwa ye faswa se afane afa enya asem a yenyina ye jutum se eho ne ko a ye benya abotoye mu edi free ho and the kwan bia was ye fa to project, to promote and protect the sanctity of our court no yenyina setimemfo ya sedie was ye yo mini di adwen pa. But you see, Anope, Minino UTV. I disagree in the line of thoughts and argument in trying to defend in Sema
Asempa FM 94.7
and the Mesa Canibium and NDC will not operate in a vacuum. NDC, they are so strong. Omuti politics, omuti asiye papa. If you underrate NDC, they won't take politics. I say, ya call them asya, aye nyama. So when they start rolling, don't joke with these guys. In the first place, if you want to make a speech about so-called perception about the damaged image of our judiciary, do you do only selective invitation? By inviting only core NDC lawyers into the program?
It was a meeting of NDC lawyers, right? Okay, now your NDC lawyers meeting. And I'm going to say John Dramani Mahama. Okay. Very well.
Yeah. You see, I see President Akufo-Addo political appointment, partisan appointment
yes.
into the bench. Nikasa no Kanukra is more political, partisan. Nikasa no Kanu is more partisan and dangerous. Statement no ye kanye no. I see it as a sign of frustration. Very distasteful, so embarrassing, and very unfortunate. And then I make kasa. What the president do? You have been the president of this country. And you know the processes at which judges are appointed to the bench. So what did in the bar? You subject it to general legal counsel. People are appointed to the bench not because of their partisan coloration, but because of merit. And you think President Obama doesn't know this? People are appointed to the bench. Lawyers are appointed to the bench not because of their political or partisan coloration, but because of merit. He took the wind out of my sail. I was on the appointment committee in Parliament when we vetted Gabriel Scott, Poamang, the General Secretary of the PNC. I was there. I was sitting on the appointment committee. Justice Yapao, my very good uncle. I was on the committee that vetted him. We all know his affiliation. The Atosubium, Justice Amos Lawe-Boete, former MP for Adan. He was a former Greater Accra Regional Minister under Jeff Rawlings. Justice Francis K. Kobie Jerapa, former MP. And finally George Bodi, NDC MP, Amenfi East. Are these people appointment to the bench based on partisan?
But can't we also do with...
I don't buy into that partisan
but
approach.
The point is, if people are politically exposed, can't we have other people replace them on the bench?
Please. Ejuma no Baba Yano, what has that to do with politics? Because me a lawyer. Me pese monsieur lawyer Chu.
Asempa FM.
Was
94.7.
That's me bomb pass me to my yebi.
Obey.
Which I say, I know. Look, I can't get your court yeti, no. Yes, you back quarter. You come with your fact and evidence and legal authorities to buttress whatever you are coming to adduce in court. On my example, was it Birmingham Magistrate Court? Judge in Barno Betrange was it winning me? Was it minimum? Me be dear some effort facts are yet yabe too many. And then you saw a lord in your so a genaswa would be do many and not measure the diatsam. So where is ex-President Mahama coming from? You see, I've told you the NDC, they are not operating in a vacuum. Or for some pofu, sadly, tape no boy, you know, and yakau. Or for some pofu, tape no, and yakau. It is linked to these things. And for me, I will stand by that. Or see, this is a mind game. Or see, this is a mind game. It's a covert operation. Not face to face. And about where gorilla tactics. Or see a gorilla tactics. Or see, we will target some people. Me say, or for example, we will target some people.
But that tape is in dispute.
It's
a subject
me
of
say, please. Oh, who can say my head? Chumankaso, Mr. Lawyer. Or for example, this is a mind game. We are going to do a covert operation, not face to face. Guerrilla operations. Target some people and make life uncomfortable. Wage a relentless war on them. So this is an agenda of the NDC to target the judges, to let them look bad in the eyes of the Ghanaian people. And for me, that is where I'm coming from. That is where I'm coming from. And you, who can Justice Abud lie? Or the deputy speakers no asem no court.
Yes.
And look at the statement of my big brother. And I quote. Or say, former President John Mahama has launched fresh attacks on the Supreme Court judges, describing the ruling as dangerous precedent of judicial interference in parliamentary procedure for the future. According to him, the ruling of the Supreme Court allowing deputy speakers the right to vote and be counted when presiding in parliament is shocking and not surprise to him. He posted on his Facebook that a unanimous 7-0, shocking but not surprising, adding that an unfortunate interpretation for convenience, emphasis, an unfortunate interpretation for convenience that set a dangerous precedent of judicial interference in parliamentary procedure for future, quote and unquote.
Asempa FM 94.7.
Unfortunate interpretation of convenience. Na article 109 na ewo ho no. I admit say MPs no omo ye MPs. Ye to aba mom omo ko. You have been an MP before. The Supreme Court even is saying Parliament is not above the Constitution. Parliament, even though we have our own rules to run affairs in the chamber, we don't interpret the Constitution. The only laws who can interpret the Constitution well to us is the Supreme Court. When you have a former president who can speak like this, there is a recipe for disaster. It's dangerous to our democracy. And we need to watch him carefully. And the same now on kwa. It is an attempt targeted at the judges to them to look bad before the people. Now, America, if reference now lawyer Bawano. So people might bribe. America, reference not here, you know. America, if you have this evidence in your hands, you go and sit in America and publish that report. You should have given it to the Chief Justice. You don't. I don't get it, Philip. And then lawyer Chum. So when your evidence say obi to court to ho Jessica and son with the assem and now I file a bar and I say yeah, you have the evidence in your hands. Why don't you tell the judicial secretary? Why don't you take it to any of the courts? Maybe I won't information. Why go to America? And I watch your brofu and I chuma be trust you and no the reference. Jesus Christ. Please, I didn't invite you to speak. I did not invite you to contribute. I am making my analysis and I'm saying that statement made by that American reporter, what investigation, for me, is a nullity. Because you have fresh evidence of somebody. Say what you're bonia. Then I will say, well, yeah. Because you're building your systems there. You want to tell us a young system no more, a system, papa. So you have checks and balances. Now, say what may you be fair. Said the very judiciary that you investigated, you give a copy of your report, and the Chief Justice,
But we can't say that we don't have a copy. We don't know.
They should have.
We don't know. We don't know someone wants money.
Lawyer Chum. Fimodin Yenuta. I'm a good Fimodin. Fimodin Yenuta. So clearly for me, his attack on the Chief Justice is another problem. Look, Chief Justice Inimyobwa, at the time of 2012 Supreme Court, he has been their target. He has been their target. Quote me. He has been their target at the time.
Target for what?
Oh, Missy.
For what?
On convention, against your mama. He was there. 5-4, no, he was part of the 4.
Yeah, but there are other judges I who are also on the Supreme Court bench.
So, NDC don't operate in the vacuum. The attack on the judicial is not heading. The image of the judicial service has been bruised. Heading. On kanji the way. Say who are facts, who are evidence. Say Judge Nimbi, this obi ekoyet odi camera go CB, and that thing kwano or this obi ji pa punching any akuko na dade. Find evidence in the brain. Because yen kasane keke. Say me ni kwata me studio here. Na say my boni. My lawyer is Lawyer Chum. Me Lawyer Chum. Na say Lawyer Chum be charge me. I was say me kan no be a woman. Na me no wan go trap eji me. E wo court ho. Now, say, who express the Mahama? You have evidence. Say, Obi di boni in the judicial service. Now, what transfer? You only waiting for opportunity for cameras to fix in your face, only to come and talk like this.
Asempa FM 94.7.
Me say the judiciary no my kasa onim. We have every right to criticize them. We have kwan bia so na who criticize you. Ye nyina so bia ye gina so a am ye kan yasam a nyina be ye be ka bia ma wai. And did you work in nyina so be de gina so. In some my experts na be kan ye nyina so ben e no gina so.
The NDC says in the Asiedun Ketia statement that he was only re-echoing public sentiment against the judiciary.
Public sentiment. What are the facts to back? What are the evidence? Public opinions. Uti konsuechi ubo jumai. Eyo bit time wabonti. Lawyer Chumoti, a young lawyer, brilliant lawyer, or cockcord no displayer, obi ohana yen time. But also na chedi no. And this mtiha ni kwatei. Na sebe kasa na umpeso be timenia. Katawaso. Just shut your ears and don't listen to me. But my yen bejina simpie so. Ama yen tititi na manfo numa sema mo nkeka. Na yen nyanyina so papa bia yegyina so. Na ubaka che President Akufo-Addo say or yet too much partisan in his appointment. Na President Akufo-Addo didn't ba or the command judicial council.
94.7.
Background.
Judicial council and Edidino
Moba. Oh, that's what thank you
for approval.
Absolutely.
But in your earlier comment, no obo okatechi amang kwai free feeding. I'm told say he's on the line to want to react to in semni bia okay no. Okatechi akwa ba Ekosiisen so ni.
Menu tukuma say. This I don't know. I'm quite we did look at the chair FIFA mensa.
Hey, make a man qua. Ye,
I never come and quite FIFA or free man for.
I'm not confusing me.
You could do baby no walk at the chair, but no, the man qua.
Charlie, fetch me. Say, Bibi Aboko.
At the day now,
Adumia. Ain't he, na. Honorable Titus Glover, or refer to in some of his comments, or making out say, "Who will be beat to our person will come into you."
Oh, me honor your friend, Mr. Titus Glover say, "Yam family call DJ na NMC frame na nano mum frame." Ni tintini tete mwana se ma fashion up. I invoke the boss. I war a yemi show up me yan war XYZ TV so. Na begina wana mentia se na bibisa ne se sabio so aka your constitution no a ye wo krum hada da bia no wa constitution ne ka kire ye se bomba ye bia da bia yamfa bible shi ensem ana se bomba yamfa Quran shi ensem. Already Article 21(1)(c) of the 1992 Constitution was all persons shall have the right to see freedom to practice any religion and to manifest such practice. So Sabio Samtuay Majina TV so I'm said the Akufo-Addo Neken of Riata de ye and pay Namimpe Nabe Bompaye Namidiam Simen for Bible Medium Simen for Quran. Na me fashion up na diabo empire and here fana betia mra and unti them sim frame. But you see, Obi, over the years it looks as if say your politicians e okrum ha. Womo so Bible mu shaya, womo nsu. Womo so Quran mu shaya, womo nsu. The moment won better snap on here na nanu mu die no. Na for ma sha se keke. Titus Global so on TV that so be a fashion up with the air catcher and another say the asumesi no but then you know I don't know if you are mobile mabobi my friend and another na me dia asem am susu se dodo na apese o moka etu o mani mo baby anu wa me bo wo bi adua me nkasi wo bia ne mo me se wudi bone enti nananu mu ki no nya so so nya bone no a ani e wa wo so kofa ba bi trai. Something about who did one and my friend and another na yes so sure. If it's a local swap, then another and then somewhat to money. It means you attack us. Nadarum way NMC DJ him will be a me will be a have freedom of religion and will be a PBI practice. And one of them said we need a one chef here. Me nananoma na metesom to nananoma kunya so antiaba. It is a specific literally kupo am jisina for no any nanam. One way to find the Bible, find the Quran. As simple as ABCD. It is how to say.
I think his point really, and they said, me nya kwan share video ni biba. His point, they said, na ubo dua, wo de snap, ebo man penny dua, any finance minister dua, ewo studio. Was that the case?
Me bo man penny dua se man penny suwe episode wo wiem dika. Me bo man penny dua se na penny wa be me girlfriend. Wa me me girlfriend na je sika. Wo man wa yetimu no, na nafuo bi na ba ye be kunje wo man ni esi ho. Efri eye twumanchu ko bi ma futi akati obiri ebu aho an kura de ye be tie nyina bom ama ni ko na boni de tell the most agentageti cooperative kwa me nkroma ne wo mo maka aka wo. Then sasa ba mo do mo moja to hodi wo man ne se bi o mpreduasa. Bibi koyi entwaye na me susu se entwaye. Ne mo me pese me ka kire ye na nanomu a atwa mu ko se de wo mo gya enchirima ye de ye omo se ya pagya wo man ni sika from 122 billion Akufo-Addo beto ye e de akodu 540 billion. It is nanomu nti second ofuriata tiwi wonu angaza the bank ayese bio financial advisor. It is watching your bobosi anu ono wonya hu sikadi. It is nanomu nti na se de omo ye na nanomu animu a sese ya de pade a wo munya wo mo mo ye se ya de pade a e de omo angaza ntu Akufo-Addo e de kan ofuriata fo no munya ye konkonya da mu di esua ye ka kire na nanomu se bi o si nipa boni fo bi die bia tunifo na wonyai na so tunifo na so wonyai no so wonyai dia ene mo twene mra na nanomu ku na da mu mra me yi ne ho ano eno no se bi o nim se wo di boni di agya ye na ni boni aso ho so ananya sa.
Okay, Okateche, my nasi, Bibiani, why? Yeah, that's it. Enti Okateche, a free famine, and Amoten and Kano. We had to put him on the line because, again, his name was directly mentioned on the show. And Honorable Titus earlier commenter, Omeki, you know. Honorable, not Wanugu Asem Swa, what can you tell us?
What's that, Nasemo? Militaire, Mamma Bo. At a point in time, I say Akufo-Addo kwa yin tours in Kunu. Yeah, see, I'll play it for you.
No, we can't play that here.
What I'm saying, I'll play it. I'll give it to June. I say Akufo-Addo the tise ko Jose Bibi. Hey, Musoma no kasa o. On shena no kasa o. Is it because you're a broadcaster? So you can insult anybody, including your father who can give birth to you? Akufo-Addo can give. I'm 56 years. He's qualified to be my father. The same age like my mother. Who's in the Tukojo? Or be a fetoni a kunu. You're bunny too. That's what he said. I'll play to you. And you said this is a good statement? Or sin ananum. Now, you see, if any say constitutional recognizing traditional religion. You see, we are because you are journalists in Fako studio. So is that what SYZ? And they are bad managers.
His argument is, we'll be with the Bible about studio about Bompire.
Please.
He doesn't want to mean sound.
Please. And you are cursing the president of the land?
He says he did not curse.
Well, please, go and listen to that. Go there and listen to it. Me see. GJ. Samuye Gen organization. Media Foundation for West Africa. My brother Brian. And Agona Traditional Council. And Meshia. Nyami Kei. Say Adipone na mi Kenya. And me husong. Na said nyanya mi kan na sa sentiment mo gi tradition dia said dia afrifa ye the papa they should leave him and let him continue. He is disgracing the Ashantis. You see he empire bompire Sadia bompire you make the president your target. If you have your platform and I will criticize him, we have no problem, but you bring Schnapp into the studio to come and curse him and to the extent say oh you'll be a pony tuning I was a natural secret you invited no. The tape is here.
Let's come back to John Mahama and the judiciary.
I was expecting you to put him to check.
I was not minded to want to do that.
What is this?
His name was mentioned. He wanted your opportunity.
Yes, he came to claim, but he has worsened his case.
He's gone. So let's move on.
I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. Because they have interest, they have the political interest that they are promoting. So that's where they want to go. So back to our discussion. Philip, and my brother Chu. I will agree with my former president. The Angela or attack president and Fasobi Nuso say, oh yeah, partisan appointment. Meanwhile, in your time, you appointed people. My more example, Justice Scott Puamang, I was part of the vetting committee. My uncle, Justice Yapao, I was part of the appointment committee. At one time, Crowder, true, Missy always cited a very good pledge. That was global. Stop that. Yes, I said, stop that. So clearly, I think, sir, we all need to engage. Now, yemfa sanity. Embra a judicial. I agree. Say, bibi etosia. Yenya ewosiyabwa. But why you want to take a partisan angle and behave as if you are more Catholic than the Pope? That for me, that is where I disagree with my big brother. Clearly, I totally disagree with him. And the style at which he's continuously attacking the judges is something that is also not good to the image of this country. If he has evidence, he was the chairman of the National Security Council. He sits in state and he has evidence and facts of whatever happens in this country. Said he had the breso on your information, he passed it on. Sani was so that is the mark of a statesman. But you don't mount a podium and you start attacking the judges, the image of this country, the mirror of this country, the final arbiters of this country when it comes to litigation. When you subject them to public ridicule. I don't know, yes, sir.
Mate, ma yenhwe yenfa any other business na yen sorry Ekosiisen so ni higher sempa 94.7 FM enti we say yeah in your wrapping up comments, you'll be to me attach on it. No, Obi, please, I want to ask this: is it not the same Supreme Court that ruled for President Mahama in 2012, which he and the NDC jubilated? Secondly, when they went to court and the court asked their general secretary to produce their own collated figures, what did he say? In fact, I agree with Honorable Titus Glover that former President Mahama and the NDC are doing these things because they have realized again that they have nothing meaningful to win the vote of Ghanaians in 2024. So they want to bastardize all the institutions ahead of time. In all, please let the NDC and Mahama understand that when you go to court to challenge elections without a single pink sheet, the court will not regard you as God and rule in your favor. Barrister Danny Obi. I think in the NDC's own interest to love and support the Supreme Court justices, because if they win 2024 elections, they are going to work with those same justices and even possibly choose a future Chief Justice from the current bench. Okay, the rule of lawyers and how it has replaced the rule of law. Dr. Dakwa, Washington, D.C. Eddie, we are praying. We say, Obi, please, if the former President Mahama is saying the Chief Justice must be changed to save the damage, say it will take a new Chief Justice, to clean up the image of the judiciary. Okay. We said with the U.S. judiciary attacks on Ghana, it was not the U.S. judiciary. Anyway, for Mr. President in Denmark, thank you. Why is it so difficult to criticize the judiciary in Ghana? Are they different from Parliament and the executive arms of government? Are they above criticism? Are we also aware of the illegal auctions as published by the Auditor General? Way Efri Eko Jan, Deputy Tain Coordinator, Southern Sector. Obi, do you remember the famous Atuguba dissenting in the 2013 petition? When it favors the NDC, it's fair. But if it doesn't, then we should crucify everyone. This one says that, Obi, please ask the NDC lawyer, what did the NDC do after the 2014 expose by Anas? Did any NPP member castigate and bastardize the judiciary as it is being done today by John Mahama, John Bat Ado in Ohio, US of A? Would want to know. Okay, wait, sir. Obi, I am surprised at the selectivity of some of these political commentators. And was sending a link to a story which says NDC fight Imani, IEA, and CDD. And one link and also say NDC questions CDD report after findings reveal Ghanaians have higher confidence in the NPP. Or say, with such background, we should leave our appointed professionals to serve the state and the citizenry with their skills and learnings over time. until they prove themselves unworthy of the honor we accord them. Our political class in Ghana fear their own shadows. Let's continue to hold them to strict account as citizens. As for the Western comparisons, when Ghanaian commentators make them, I laugh my lungs out. Have you followed the rancor after current rulings in the US of A? Amos Kevin Anan, Eddie Way Abraham Obi. Looking at the rate at which this government is working for our good, I humbly appeal to all well-meaning Ghanaians to disregard what the President Mahama said about our judiciary. Indeed, if we are to say anything, President Mahama, is the biggest beneficiary of our judiciary. God bless Ghana. Yao Marvin, all the way from Kwesimintim in the Western region. Lawyer, any other business? Sorry.
Obi. Yeah, but let's make it clear. That perception be a more creative or more story out of what the man said. Should be, should stop.
Okay.
He never said, "Sir, just the name of should be sacked or should be changed or whatever." When you say a word, no. More creative story. One kasa. I mean, at the end of the day, can say, and for being going to go in film. If it's over can go the office and the was one day. He never said that. Anyway, and Obakaya, I'm sorry, bra na 2021 election petition. Before I say ruling, Baba, the Judicial Council issue statement through their lawyers.
Yes.
Omakacha said criticisms are allowed. Nimudia na omo empasa be umbi hunsa nkofo ye nse be udi o matamo e kan sama mfata. Then there we are all against that. Sorry. So to insult them or to say, abusive things against them, and then nobody, whether you're a lawyer or not, nobody should encourage that against anything. But judgment on body or the banana judgment no accident. That is how the game is. Whatever, really, this is the ruling. But making an argument. What can examine? Actually, say, baby, do you that's it. We don't expect everybody to follow you all the time. But I wasn't paying the word. So you get some liking some of the things that you do. You get some also not liking some of the things that you do. Sanity, the justices as human beings, they know that even judgment I'm going to our person. Obi, the country and no them one. And know. So now somebody and when you couldn't upon the way in edge. Okay? The Odin couldn't no, and also any adject, but I don't know. So, Sansa could send back to Odin Kunza, a quality or no swat concerning that. That is how the thing is. So when anybody has women and nobody agree, but my point is say the image is important.
94.7.
Say, a man for what you might be anxious say, Enquia, Master. Ni in a show. Said I may be can't ye be habit me as say and ye judiciary. Criticizing them, they say, UK, which year was labor for no time. Supreme Court passed judgment be about unlawful imprisonment of some people, and now one person, one more that happened terrorism, that 9/11 time, I started giddy. Very good. No, but so much. When I know what it to ask and when I won't say, yeah, we are saying Supreme Court say no. It's against the law. They got attacks from left, right, center. I was the unelected arm of government is now deciding for the elected arm of government. So people were hitting them left, right, center. That is the rules of the game. Judgment number 10 ni be ebinimuti any so don't expect that you definitely get them coming after you. But it should be on a tangible ground. Tangible criticism. Fair criticism. Raise your point and disagree with what point you don't agree with. Simplicity. Having said that, the Auditor General has made a corruption. Have I was doing either? Well, born na boss what na zone. You see, can no cause we read in basa to the kingdom come. I say every now and then, Oshesika you be so bodin say you lose it through negligent activities and corrupt activities. Yeah, now we say, do you really think as people? Me can report no baby na was say failure by management to document agreement covering some of these transactions. How can you do a transaction and fail to document it? How? And all these people are in charge of affairs in this country. It's serious. What do a man seek and you don't see the need to document it? You don't see the need to keep records of Adia Oyen. Because of what? Officer, what was it? Or because you think nobody is there to check you or to come after you? As I say, the same officer general report and also Akobo easy for yes easy so 21 top managers have failed to declare their assets. Again, they have also failed to produce or provide police background checks. Really? And they are managers of at easy.
Asempa FM
Obi,
94.7.
is that how the country is going? If there is something that needs to be done urgently, this government must sit up because their recklessness is becoming too much. How can somebody be in charge of affairs as a manager in the EC? You want to say and the man say, oh, but yeah, you police background checks. Okay, you're training to be an phone number. I check here in our hometowns and our schools and so on and so forth. Police background check and I'm saying one of police CID headquarters to go and do fingerprint and check from the system. Say, oh, you be a criminal charge, be against your found court on any criminal offense. When no dinner and on the same time, and nobody's checking this. Again, was it the 21 officials had no personal records? How? So wouldn't hear auditor general on about check you. Abakato said more chumuti when you records on his file. And nobody's checking that. What kind of country is this? Was it EC do not have register to capture its assets across the country? Why? Who train auditor general? So never show ni moment can tell say you need all these things. You know one person and who in this country ba kumbi I'm because my me brother no wo ne civil society institution mu aye. And the way no see conducting who said ni posture ni bia wo oman mu no. She was one person and not just a man for regarding the power. So having been given a public office be in charge, not under your tenure. I mean, these things are coming up. In your private institution, will you employ people without personal records? Will you be, recruiting people who don't have personal records on their files? And they are employees in your private company? You will never do that. So why are you spearheading these things in a public institution? Only said also police certified criminal record checks. No. And so I be and I know not to go.
Asempa FM.
Say ya jail the pen cramp and your number town. Yan confirm me. But the person is still running affairs as a manager at the Electoral Commission.
But the report says on the employees uncle for during his tenure. There are people who are got 2 or more. Some of the EC people have worked there for 30 years.
Worry.
Maybe a lawyer.
Yeah. The issue is not about what time the person was employed.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember my days in police. I think almost every 2 years, BIA was a BB. Oh, honey, what do you call it?
Background check.
No. Yeah.
Update of record.
Everything. I mean, they will come back. You will be able to biometric checks. Anyone just to make sure that when I saw you money, you can be with money and any of that. So Batu Numponua in your 10 and buy for what is 5 years and I'm or buy okay, no 5 years. I'm saying
5 years.
In one. What do you have to 4 years? 4 years, yeah, over Obi. A dear man, what checks have you also done to ensure that even no man they have to the standard as per officers of EC? It wasn't 1, it wasn't 2. Because training outside the country. The buy no all my checks. Man, where I can pay grammar. I have to go and do it. So Uba and also be then I want to and that's why you to check all distance to make sure that they are clean. Because one of the most dangerous things you can ever have in this country, and so will be an institution like EC, no adwuma no criminal na wonim obi asampa akran boy amuti se mo ne criminal be na adwuma o ha mo so no guje mo because men nyam wasa da ba na microphone is wani ni o what does it so how much more the electoral commission there's anya bibia enti na mo de share mo ni mo say se me be adwuma o ha ohia se makokọ criminal background checks there's a reason why anti penifo de shows out se na hu hia anko mo fa share mo ni mo ko maka say oh application be pa adwuma ba de fa no what wo ye adwuma but there's a particular reason bibinti na mo de share mo ni mo sa say se twum be pa adwuma na sa mo fa no a b c d ne twasa twum yo ansa na why qualified to work with you. Why are you not doing it? Do you need Auditor General to come and check you 2022 or 2021? No one be point anymore when you say this is what is happening in your institution. I think she should set up if any man wants one. Again, this is a criticism, but I'm found on the positive ground. And man you say you empanasam minze titles because you empanasam to the cancer. But you not 7 MP. So they said the medical kind. Yeah, ba open pum no combination the then them when say proud.
Mate, may I say, Honorable, any other business? Simon Numni and Sorenko.
I want to state, sir, Okatechie statement no audio no that Akufo-Addo must be shot. The National Investigation Bureau, the Police CID, the National Security must get the tape and invite him to come and prove why he made that statement. It's very important because the president is the #1 gentleman of this land. But for a broadcast journalist, oti konsoechi na okase Akufo-Addo dia was ye fetu ni body tour. Emu edu esema emu edu panye mfa no ejeze ne nim ye kura. Mindi enu tu nchen ya. Lo achum say yisifo adwuma na omoye wo no ama ban na ye so reckless. Na misira mika wo wusi abanye wo kasa wo kasa wo na ono a okasa yeyi na o betwa so no na odi na ne kasa no ebe na wiye no na otufo se ma yemfa ne se yempenasem ba bebi atosi ni nyina no yenhwe ni yesisi. I agree with him because personal data dia ewunya papa. Even though adukwai eko hencheye or director of HR or whatever, administration, whatever, when nyina yadia, I'm sure maybe the focus is not there. But enumni yekan say ya raise alarm no atwina dwen edi akoso no. I'm sure say enimini ya no obedi echide ama akohwe. Make say ebia na wahye bibia se kra oyo to make sure that they bring everybody to speed, to make sure that every information data here about every, because EC is a national security sector, it's a national security. Yeah. The EC letter is a very critical institution. National security, like I say, because it's a security area. And the BBM yebiano, it was a finchim, I don't was here. Then no because to idea, on information, on records. I mean, I even here we be. Na nipa na prepare that documents no or the court ade na or this try no or officer or manager or director
no but eno no easy
dey easy one of the institutions
I think the Netco and the
okay
now then who procurement department
northern part
they have a director there a finance director and a regional director and the process in to back to me who said I mean mentias here no shishi munhwe dia atoni auditor general ka no dia wo se mu ye bia no munye na mumma e ba ye batia firi so ye kasa ya den de mayen twum mutra hai lobo twa the boy you understand because clearly I will not sit down as in charge of an organization ye procure niama I was say we ye procurement process was ye call ye bibia nya na wakotiaka are you normal? Then comes the issue of ODK. I am the pastor who has prevailed now. In fact, I know I'm not chum. Ewo TV, Adum TV, and a yen yesterday and I say, Sebi Uba,
FM 94.7.
I was told there was a high power delegation led by the former chairman of the Peace Council.
Yeah, of the Peace Council.
Any mpanyinfoɔ GJ president ɔmo de dwanto kɔ ɛde ɔmo kɔ ɛkɔ kasaeɛ ɛyɛ fɛ ɔn sɛ ɛyi tɛkrɛma wɔ ha yi wɔnhwɛ ne yia obi kasa bi wakɔ ka no na wakɔ pa asɛm ama wo but de baako a na ɛnura mi tie wo ne general manager of the station ɛkasa adesua ne sɛ the fact sɛ mo invite obi ɛde ɛba studio no so abɛkasa na obie na numa bibi opebia na ɔka no we need to censor it and make sure say if you don't have facts and evidence, don't come and pour anything out. A ban is a mumu station and I like multimedia. Obi can't most of the media houses or can't say no grand your YouTube yakazena yaw yelling and a okay that alone disclaimer no crano a bus station no I'm a munyamana yenino a kuye na if anything he's been banished Odike
from coming to Menshia.
From Menshia also mesre whatever it is na
kromo hene tonsa frɛ na busuafo say because I think after the banishment no Menshia has still invited him say omra
but because of the slaughtering of sheep he cannot go they need to reverse it
and son but
again asemba kwa na me pese na me ka and he say the challenge was that he generalized the chiefs. Because some when any to kokoso akanda ebrana jinapop okon omo stakeholders they was see about 30% of the naive nyina they are engaging in this act wa enye ne fe also omo bebre yebi what I say and don't for nankasa admitted say omo yebi. But the fact that Odike generalized the whole thing to add all the chiefs,
problem no.
And the Ebesre, Odike, he need to be measured in some of his utterances. Now,
Asante Hene Munu does not engage or support
endorse whatever they are doing.
But he know, like I said on my account, I was in Bekan and I will hear for Yana Mamma assassin. A man intimidated you, my dear, to us, we are here out here. Nasa wouldn't say that I said my tombs on crazy. And your ones would tip web for so he said that, and you know,
yes, Nanum say Menshia banishment, no, they should reverse it.
Okay.
The fact say Omaginatum, Kumasi Traditional Council have admitted the radio station there at the end, no Becasao, and the Dakason Bayan, and see the Omaso Chepam from Yelpa FM management, Yensha Udiki, or Momdishi,
yes,
na Yenshana, who has to prevail. Na Yena Yen Kambum na Chichara Santimai and Ghana. And for me, I think Ghana ni chichiri.
Yeah.
And the BB Abeto Sibiano, we have the right to sit, engage, talk, and make sure the BB Abeto here.
Very well. Ian Suya does say Honorable Daniel Nikwate Titus Glover and Yetinin, kind of former MP Tema East constituency, former Deputy Transport Minister. Sounds Namote Lawyer Chumla, a member of the NDC National Communications Team, on also Moteninka. And Yabedam Penifui Ase. But I feel like playing a very, very deep song